Okay, well, let's welcome now on the show Vynsiey Fernandes, the MD and CEO of NXT Digital Limited, to talk about the numbers. There's been a more than 30% rise in their quarterly profit after tax. It's been quite a strong show. Vynsiey, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's talk about what exactly drove this kind of strong performance, a 30x surge in profitability. Were there any one-offs? What exactly aided this?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the show. I think there was, everyone talks about innovation, everyone talks about challenges of the pandemic, etc. I think we rolled back the textbook to a very simple focus and said, listen, in a challenging year like COVID, let's just focus on the basics. So uninterrupted customer service, things like 100% digital collections, so that we ensured contactless business models between cable operators and subscribers. We focused on new content. We knew people were working from home. We knew children required strong broadband connections. We knew people required access to information and therefore television, like your network, etc. So all of these things, we just focused. We said, listen, don't let the financial targets be your driver. Let business and the need of the hour and the customer demand be your driver. I think that is something that paid off very handsomely. Couple of things that I'd like to take to make a special note of. Our broadband business, for instance, we have surged in this year on the basis of demand. We've optimally grown by about 87%. We were able in phase 3 markets, which are very difficult markets actually, where we have a significant presence in terms of television, to take our ARPUs, or our average revenue per user, from about 144 rupees last year when it was during prime time, to take it to about 151, between 151 and 155. So people started watching more content. So I think what we did was we took everything that we thought was needed. We took ground feedback. We worked with our last mile owners, and we ensured that we were able to deliver. So I think that has been a key driver for our performance, not just in the last quarter, but I think throughout the year. That has put us in good stead to be able to perform perhaps even better than last year when you look at our EBITDA and performance numbers.
Interesting. Now, Vynsiey, the media and entertainment industry, according to reports, saw a degrowth of 24% in 2020. What were the reasons behind this? How would this impact, a company like yours?
So you're spot on. The media and entertainment industry contracted by almost 1/4, 24%, and subscription revenue went down by about 7%. Obviously, this should have had a significant impact on our business because subscription revenue is one of the prime drivers for a technology digital services company like NXT Digital. But I think the way we looked at it is we said, listen, here's the challenges of COVID. What are the things that we can do to fix it? So we realized, for example, that people required a work from home bundle. We launched new work from home bundles, which included not just your conventional television, but we also put in value-added services like educational channels. We put in special free-to-air channels for people who work, in small town and other markets. We were able to grow our broadband business. We ensured uninterrupted customer services for television and broadband users. So rather than and most importantly, I think, and it's something that's very close to my heart. The Hinduja philosophy has always been that in a challenging year, when you're faced on challenges that go way beyond pure business metrics, focus on making sure you keep your people safe and keeping your business continuity processes attuned. And I think that focus really helped us because we found more customers who were happy with our service, wanting to move to these higher end packages. We found more people wanting to migrate to our digital payment mechanism. In fact, just to tell you something that is really incredible is that nearly 100% of our collections, subscription collections, were digital during the year. That in itself is very significant because not just did it ensure the health and safety of our local cable operators, our teams, as well as the fact that no one went into customers' homes to collect subscription revenue. It also allowed customers and subscribers to leverage the opportunity to do things in a bubble of their own and being able to access all of it. So I think those were the factors. And yes, the industry faced a tremendous challenge. We knew what we were setting ourselves up for. And I'm very glad at the end of it all, we were able to kind of, come out, I won't say smiling on the other side, but come out shining on the other side.
When we just talk about platform companies, the way they have seen growth, the way they have seen, subscriber addition going away, how do you see this as a win-win deal for that entire sector or for all the investments that were made by all parties, including you in that space?
Sure. So I think you've touched a very, very important question you've touched upon. See, if you go back to the telecom space, right, the government realized that there was no sense in multiple companies investing in towers. So they worked on this model of sharing towers, and that reduced expenses tremendously in the space and therefore improved profitability. MSOs, multi-system operators like us and our competitors and peers have invested very significantly in technology, have invested very significantly in the back-end set-top boxes, subscriber management systems. And thanks to the government NTO, the new tariff order, the cost of content, which was a driver, went away. And therefore, the second biggest cost was connectivity. Now, thanks to the government, which has looked at a fantastic vision of saying, how do we leverage the opportunity for multi-system operators and competitors to share costs? So we were able, we are the first, by the way, we're the first company to have received the permission from the Government of India, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, only last month, in fact, on the 14th of April, to be able to share our infrastructure with competitors. We've already signed on with arguably India's biggest platform, which is SITI Networks, which has over 8.5 million customers. They will look to leverage our infrastructure and deliver their services. So they will be able to do a couple of things. They will be able to reduce their connectivity costs significantly. In fact, some MSOs are talking about reducing costs by as much as 50% in terms of connectivity. They will be able to expand their services, but most importantly, improve their quality of services. So we believe this is the sweet spot for a company like NXT Digital going forward, because there are so many MSOs that are struggling with their connectivity costs today and want to be able to leverage sharing infrastructure. And the beauty about the Head End in the Sky platform is we cover all of India. There are no further investments required from our side. So we can support as many multi-system operators that want to leverage the infrastructure that we've already invested in. So it's a win-win for all. We would earn a fee income. The user of the platform or the customer of the platform, which is the MSO or the competing MSO, would be able to reduce his connectivity costs as well as improve his quality of service and basically be able to expand across the geography of India, irrespective of where they'd like to go.
And what do you think, this means as far as the overall costing is concerned? You think a lot of investment will still need to be made to make the experience better, to make the content better, or the industry has lived up to it and now, the content, the sort of speed that one is getting in, or infrastructure, let me put it that way, infrastructure to enable, good growth?
So again, very good point, because see, the fact remains is that smaller multi-system operators in smaller towns across the country deliver about 200, 300, 400 television channels to their customers and subscribers. Very often, the quality of services is impacted significantly because of fiber cuts or bad weather, etc. Now, by leveraging the infrastructure of a platform like NXT Digital, they don't need to make further investments in terms of having to deliver services to their customer. So number one is that they are able, overnight literally, to be able to deliver as many as 700 television channels to their customer, as well as improve the quality of service to their customer in terms of uninterrupted as against because it comes via satellite. So, investments in the sector or investments that an MSO needed to make, you'll start seeing that slow down because they will be able to leverage the infrastructure of a central platform services provider and therefore be able to leverage that entire investment that already is there. If they need to expand to other geographies, they don't need to worry about contracting fiber to connect those smaller towns or smaller markets. They can just go and overnight put in a satellite receive equipment and connect directly to the next digital platform. So we're very excited that the platform that we've set up, and again, I repeat, thanks to the incredible foresight of the government of India and the ministry as part of the entire Digital India mission of our Prime Minister, this is going to ensure that MSOs don't need to invest, but can leverage the infrastructure to provide digital services pretty much on a pan-India basis without further investments.